Sis, welcome to our healing table. I think as women, we love to tap into that like feminine side of like nurturing something other than ourselves.
Yeah.
We love that. We need that.
Yeah, and I've been even getting dressed. I've been getting full dressed, put my makeup on, my lashes. I got my earrings on, all in the garden sweating. But I'm like, girl, why not?
It's not always like bubbles, and it's just not super soft all the time. Like it does take work. It does take challenges because it's something that you have to maintain and take care of.
And it's something that you have to intentionally cultivate for like your life.
Yes.
And so I think that's the beauty of identifying what softness look like for you.
Yes, we're in this mode of like trying to grind and trying to reach our goals and stuff, but in the meantime, like what are different practices that we can incorporate into our lives daily to being like, I am creating my life that I want to live, and it feels soft.
Yeah, you got to be able to create.
We are your hosts, Terran.
And I'm Shamika.
And this is episode 3. Today we're going to be talking about soft life, but make it real.
I'm excited about this episode.
Yes, me too.
I'm super excited about this episode.
Yeah, even just talking about a soft life, I just feel like approaching the conversation like softly and just being gentle and calm. Like that's what kind of energy you definitely give is like calm and chill. So soft life.
I'm ready for it.
Me too.
I'm ready for it.
All right, we're gonna start with our tea.
All right.
For today.
So the tea that we have today is a chamomile tea. Chamomile is very relaxing, very sweet. This chamomile is so loving. So not only do we have our chamomile tea, we have chamomile in the diffuser. And so,
Yes, chamomile. And y'all, get into our new teacups. They got our names on them. They also have our birth flowers. What was mine? Mine is... Yours is
Lily in the Valley.
Yours is Lily in the Valley. Mine is a Mayflower. Is mine a Mayflower? No, mine is Morning Glory.
Morning Glory. That
Which
is right.
Morning Glories are beautiful flowers too. So when I have my garden one day, I'm gonna have to give me Morning Glory. Cheers.
Cheers. I want to put in a disclaimer with chamomile. So chamomile is a really great calming herb if you don't have a ragweed allergy. And I think oftentimes that's something that people don't consider with chamomile. And so if you do have a ragweed allergy, it is a plant to be very mindful for, because although it can be calming for us, if you use chamomile and have a ragweed allergy, you can have an adverse reaction. So I always like to throw that disclaimer out there.
How does one know if they have a ragweed allergy?
So they can do like sensitivity tests, or they can do a patch test. So for example, if you wanted to do a patch test, you could take a tea bag or make some tea and put it in the crease of your arm, and then you're going to look for redness, you're going to look for any itching, any scratching, and that will let you know if you have an allergy to a plant.
Okay, yeah.
So,
and that's what we suggest to do too, even in Urban Eden with us having skincare products. We always tell people to do like patch tests because some people go all in and put something all on your face, but everybody is different. Every system is different. Every skin is different. We all different, so you got to do what works for you, and also do your little skin test.
Yeah, see what
and
works.
Make sure it's good.
And then even if chamomile is one that you can't use, you can always use lavender. So I like to tell people you can always find a substitute if this is not your one. Don't think that you can't find a plant that will calm you down or you could use to relax you, because I always find a good alternative and start with the mild herbs. So I think lavender will always be like a really good substitute for chamomile.
I think so too. For most people, chamomile is gentle. I know we use it for a lot of like our children's, sensitive skin. Typically, most people are, but I'm pretty sure you've seen some people who probably had like some sensitivities to chamomile. So you like.
Yeah, that's why I like to plug it in. Hey,
that's what I figured.
Just in case.
It's giving experience.
It's not a I ain't gonna say a major thing because it's always major, but I think within us talking about plants, always plugging in and making sure that people are using them in a very resourceful and a mindful way, because plants do have that adverse reaction. So outside of that though, chamomile is amazing.
Well, thank you for dropping that gem on us, sis. I appreciate it. And for real, because there's so much misinformation out here in the herbalism world with social media being out here, and then too, a lot of people are just trying different things that are being suggested to them. So it's like definitely make sure that works for you, and if it doesn't work for you, like you said, there's some alternatives for you.
Use something else. And then one thing I even do love is just trying things one at a time, so that you know what's working and what's not working.
That part. I've definitely been leaning more into like especially when you want to explore like the herb more and really the relationship with that one plant, you kind of want to know like what it is versus it being this blend.
Because the plant has, and I know like now we going off a little bit, but plant has its energetics, it have its chemical makeup, those constituents, and once you understand one plant individually and how many different herbal actions that it has and how it can assist the body in so many different ways, like we're using it to calm, but you can also use it for upset stomach and so many other things. And so when you get to know a plant on the individual level and really begin to build that relationship, that plant becomes an ally and you can stand behind it. And I think that helps to remove that fear of utilizing plants and incorporating them into your everyday life.
Yeah. Okay, what a word.
Yeah.
That's what a word about chamomile. So even though she's very soft and gentle, it's a lot to look into.
It is.
But yes, I'm so happy that we're sipping on chamomile today. It is definitely a herb that I love that makes me feel like calm and relaxed. I don't have too many allergies, so thankfully I'm able to sip on her, and especially like this beautiful yellow color. It gives soft life. Chamomile just reminds me of like a baby. It reminds me of apples, like the sweet scent is kind of like some apples, some wine.
Chamomile and apple.
Wine, not wine. Wine, no,
definitely wine. But chamomile and apple does sound good. I could see that being a thing, especially with the sweetness of the chamomile naturally. Might be something I try out.
Yes, we gotta give it a go. We gotta give it a go. That actually probably would be really, really good. But yeah, I love this yellow, and then you see we got our clear teacups now so that you can see the color of the tea.
Definitely a shift
up in there. All right, so let's get started. So we done did our tea blend and stuff. We got our check-in question for today. I'm gonna ask you first because I want to know, what has softness looked like for you?
Softness for me
this week.
Softness for me has been honoring rest. I have been resting this week. Very much so disconnected. I haven't really been on social media. I haven't really been engaging, and I've been resting. Like I've been in the bed until like 12 or 1 o'clock intentionally. And when I tell you, it has been everything in some. So resting has been a thing, and doing things that I want to do. I went and got me a cookie. Y'all, I really love peanut butter cookies. I went to Insomnia since I'm back in town.
Ooh, Insomnia is
I went
good.
to Insomnia. I went to one of my favorite restaurants. Like I've honored myself all week.
Nice.
And so that is what softness has looked like for me this week. Embodying rest. Like I've realized on the journey of softening how much rest I needed. And just kind of at times intentionally stepping away from like hustle mode, business mode, teaching mode, and being like, nah, this is it. So that's what I've been doing this week. I've been resting.
Okay. Yeah, rest is much needed.
So what about you?
For me, the past week, I did a yin yoga class, and that I know we were talking before, and you said like yoga is not relaxing for you, but there are different types of yoga, and yin yoga is definitely one of those types of yoga where you actually like sit into the pose for about 2 minutes or so and actually like get that deep stretch, and actually like it's not like too hard. It's actually like more of like a soft movement and all. So really taking the time to do that, just like really ease my mind. This was on Tuesday, and then when I was leaving, Quentin talking about, you leaving the house? Yes, deuces, bye to y'all. I love y'all.
I love that for you.
Thank you. When you mentioned rest, I was like, girl, when you have children, it can be hard to find the time to rest because you're always like doing something, and then when they're taking a nap, like you're trying to like relax. So during the times when you can take a nap, sitting on the couch, I also have a sacred space in my house where I go and do yoga, journal, read a book. Just spending time in my sacred space is my softness for me, because that's where I'm really able to like cultivate and be in my like solitude space and really like tap into my intuition and center myself. So that's what softness looks like to me, and I don't do it as often as I would like to, but when I get around to it, there's that. And then also one more thing, I took a shower yesterday because Eden was not here. So every week, I was trying to do it every 2 weeks, but exfoliating my body in full, like with a full body scrub, like scrubbing me down, then following up with washing with the soap, of course, and then lathering up afterwards with body butter or body oil. I'm talking about romanticizing the life. That's what softness is. Okay, romantic.
I have a question. I love all that. I wonder, in your sacred space, is this a place where you feel like you can take off all of your titles and your capes Is this a place where you get to fully relax in Terran?
Yeah, it is a place where I can take off all of my capes, although a lot of ideas and inspirations come to me there. So I'm always thinking about, like, what can I do next? But going into there initially, yes, it's somewhere where I can just, like, fully be me. The only thing for me right now, it's upstairs. I do wish that it had, like, a door so I could really, like, close out, because I could hear, like, what they're doing downstairs. I really just, like my space for it to just be me. But I definitely, like, strip down everything, and it's always been important to me, no matter where I've moved, to always just craft out a sacred room, a space like that is for me alone, to do whatever it is that I please up in there.
Okay.
What about you? You have what you got, the whole house?
I have realized, and that you're talking about it, that like in my sacred space, I will say, I haven't been in there much.
You have a room?
Yeah, a whole room, yes. And I put a sauna in there. And so I've been going in there and doing a sauna. That was something else that I did this week every night. Like I said, I was detoxing and cleansing, so I did go in a sauna. But I haven't just been in that room outside of that. So.
What about your garden?
Oh, my God.
You garden girl.
Yes. It is I like to say I feel like I live a life of a 65-year-old woman sometimes. And I get out there and I just be. And it's just something about seeing the growth of the plants, or doing a check-in and realize, okay, I got to give you a little bit of water, or protecting them as well. Like for my collards, I've been having these little like caterpillars underneath the leaf eating them up. And so going out every day with my diatomaceous earth clay and rubbing on the leaves. And so it's always, it gives me something to take care of. I guess I'll say that.
Taking care of plants definitely I always keep plants around me, growing something, because it just reminds you to like water them. Like you said, doing different things. Like every plant might need different care depending on like what's going on. It just reminds you to water yourself, take care of yourself. And then I think as women, we love to tap into that like feminine side of like nurturing something other than ourselves. Yeah. We love that. We need that.
Yeah. And I've been even getting dressed. I've been getting full dressed, put my makeup on, my lashes. I got my earrings on, all in the garden sweating. Yes. But I'm like, girl, why not?
And see, that's important what you said, all in the garden sweating. And I think that it kind of like segues us into like talking about soft life, but making it real. Yeah. Understanding that it's not always like bubbles, and it's just not super soft all the time. Like it does take work. It does take challenges, because it's something that you have to maintain and take care of. And then, of course, you have like things that invaders that might creep in.
You have to protect. Yeah.
Yes, that you have to protect. So it's just like, it doesn't always look like fully soft, but overall it's like something that you enjoy, and then you can have a lot of soft moments. You can experience a lot of soft moments.
Yeah. And it's something that you have to intentionally cultivate for like your life. Yes. And so I think that's the beauty of identifying what softness look like for you. And then knowing that it can be redefined in every season. Like it can be redefined every single day, matter of fact. And so, like you said, it's something that we are learning, something that we're constantly like redefining. And I think that's important for people to identify like really what soft life look like for them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, because it's not going to look the same. Just like I said a couple episodes ago, healing doesn't fit in a box, and neither does softness fit in a box. And I know we were talking before, but I was saying I think that I honestly truly feel like for Black women, it could be hard for us to feel like we need to rest. A lot of us are stepping into that now. We're paying thousands of dollars for like retreats, to go and relax. But you don't necessarily have to pay thousands of dollars, but some of us just want to get away. And we I just need girl time, alone time, feminine energy, and just that time to kind of like hone in and work on yourself, because when we're always like pouring, it's like we need to refill back into ourselves. So to me, that's what like soft life feels like. And even like you said, intentionally cultivating the soft life, just understanding that like, yes, we're in this mode of like trying to grind and trying to reach our goals and stuff, but in the meantime, like what are different practices that we can incorporate into our lives daily to being like, I am creating my life that I want to live, and it feels soft.
You got to be able to create it in your mind first, because I think that like what soft life, like some women may not want that, or what may be soft for me may not be soft for you. And so I think even in that, like you have to be intentional and real for what it looks like for you. So
Yes, and that's why I said I craft out a room. I just do the things that feel good to me. And then even for me as a mother, like me having a soft life helps me to be able to give my child a good childhood. Like in return, I'm able to like spend time with her. So I would say that my overall soft life for me personally looks like, for one, I think me having a husband does help me. I know we talked, and also before then I was independent. I was able to do my things. For me, having a husband now and a partner, a good partner who like helps take a lot of the load off for me and makes my life easier that's what my soft life looks like for me. And that way, like I don't have to like, work real hard and like on a schedule, different things. I'm still working and doing the things like taking care of my home, like taking care of my home, making my home my space, and making sure that my child is raised in a good way, and then also taking care of myself and then taking care of my man. Like that's my soft life for me right there. It's like peace in my relationship is my soft life for me. We just me and my husband, I just shared this post. It was talking about when y'all in a healthy relationship, you be arguing over dumb things. Like why you leave the Sacco there. Quick was like, that's exactly what it is. Like you just find like little stupid arguments. Like we're not over here just like super stressed because my man ain't doing me right. I ain't over here stressed because like my child not listening to me, or because I gotta like get up and go clock in on a job that I hate or something like that. And even then, it's like even with a job that you hate, like we have the power to change the things.
Whatever we want to change, we can change.
Whatever you want to change. You don't like the job, like go find you a different job, or like if you need to go get the certification. It doesn't always have to be like, I think for a lot of us sometimes we think like we need to go to college or something like that, but like even how you have an herbalism school, if you want to go take some courses that'll help you to like develop yourself, like so that you can learn how to like cultivate these different things. And through herbs are a really great ways. We just go
the best way.
The best
ways. If nothing else, I got a plant.
Yes. Yeah. But yeah, even going to like herbalism school, just learning more and just constantly growing. I think that a soft life comes down to like growth for you and peace. Soft life looks like peace. It looks like growth. Like you're doing those things that feel good to you, that are elevating your spirit. And then you're also like just having peace in most aspects of your life. Because I feel like we can't say like a soft life is perfect. It's not a utopia.
It's not. And it is not perfect, and I don't think it's anything to compare.
Yeah.
And I think that one of the biggest things that I see now with soft life being a buzzword like community and everything else is being compared to the life of another woman because she's not. Maybe her husband, they don't go 50-50, or her husband, does this or whatever. And it's just like, man, look, that's not going to be everyone's reality, but that doesn't mean that you can't live a soft life. It's like, even with me now, like me and you having a conversation about soft life a few weeks ago made me really realize that I can still have a soft life as a single woman. Yes. And then even in the space of dating, I'm being even more selective because if this opportunity does not present itself, like adding to my softness, I don't want it.
That part. You're not about to come in and make my life harder. It's not about to happen.
And so within that conversation, just with soft life being real, identifying where you are as a woman. And so being mindful of that, asking for help. Like I had one of my level 4 students come in and she's teaching and having other people to come in. I don't have to do it all.
Right.
And so granted, I don't necessarily have a husband to help me to carry the load, but I do have friends. I do have families. Yes. I do have sisters. Like I still have people to help to share my load with life with. And just realizing what it is that I truly desire. So if you're not adding to my softness within that way, no thank you. And so I say all that to say that's what part of having a soft life and being real. Like I'm not waiting for my husband to show up to give me a soft life.
That part,
I want him to find me in there and knowing that, hey, this is something that I have to add to, right? And so identifying what soft life looked like for me, I think has been a beautiful journey over the weeks. And I can even see the difference within myself. I think since we had that conversation and just how I move and how I operate and identifying what it is that I truly want. And then I've even been sitting with my goals and realizing, like, is that something that I really wanted? Because I went back to my vision board and realized that the life that I thought I wanted was rooted in survival and not softness.
And see, you're not gonna get it there when it's in survival.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can really find softness in survival mode for sure. Like, you got to take yourself up out of there.
Yeah. And so it's like now I've been sitting with just like what generational wealth looked like for me. All that I wanted to buy land, I wanted to do all these things, but is it really what I wanted or what it felt like I wanted in survival? And so within redefining that and being real in my own life, is like I'm really taking an inventory of my life right now and identifying what really fits and what does not, and releasing that. So
releasing that, when you were talking, that was something that came up, and I was like, even when we talk about survival mode, and when you say something is not bringing softness into your life, at some point we have to realize, like, when can we let something go? When do you release something that no longer serves you? Because sometimes that could be holding you back. That could be hindering you from getting to your soft life and really creating the life that it is that you want for you and for your children if you have them, or really for you in particular, because everything stems from there first and foremost. But you have to release what no longer serves you, and that's like a constant work. I feel like we're constantly just like decluttering your space and just like, changing the furniture around. And this is not literally, this is figuratively, like literally, like you said, taking inventory of like what's going on in your life and how do I want this to look different. That's even for me, like, I know I've been writing down my goals and writing down what I want my life to look like even though I am, for the most part, living a soft life, like, things can always be softer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It can always be softer. Okay.
Absolutely. In whatever capacity that you desire. Like, I think we as women have to identify, especially just melanated women, that like we are deserving of that too.
Yes.
We can have that.
Very much so.
And I think that,
real quick, don't nobody deserve it more than melanated women.
Yes.
Say that. Okay.
Yes. We are deserving of a softer life.
Yes.
We are deserving of being soft and being in that feminine energy. And when I tell you, like, the world just begins to shift when you get in that. Like, everything is different.
Yes.
And it's one of the best decisions that I made and continue to make daily. Is really just being in that energy. And so, yeah.
It is a choice. It is a choice. I've heard people say so many times that they've chose happiness, and you really have to make that choice and also understand that it's not outside of you. You can cultivate it, and it's within you. First and foremost, you already got it within you, and it's however you want to express it. So that's why I said, I know you mentioned like social media, and that can make people feel like that comparison factor, and my soft life is supposed to look like the next person's soft life, and it's not going to feel right. You want to do what feels right to you. Your softness, for me, like, even when I went and got locks again because I didn't want to deal with the maintenance of my hair, it felt right. That's how your soft life is going to feel. It's going to feel like I belong here. Like, this is what I want more of in my life. Yes. You're going to feel like it's going to feel right. It's just going to feel like I'm on the path. I'm on my purpose. And then it leads you to be able to be inspired. It leads you to be creative. It leads you to be able to be impactful to other people and in your purpose because you're in your soft life. So that's why I was saying, even when I go to my like sacred space, I go in there and I might have like something on my mind or what have you, but then I do the things that feel good to me in there, and then next thing I know, I'm inspired. I'm feeling creative. I want to go and embark on these new things. And as women, we need that because, again, I always mention that we move in phases and that we're very cyclical. So we have those moments where we need to rest more. And
you got to listen to your spirit where it's pulling you into that.
You sure do. You gotta honor that and listen to that. So you have those moments where you want to rest more. You have those moments where you feel more energized. Let me go obtain some goals. You have some moments where you might be moody. I'm not in the mood today.
Yeah. And that's okay too.
That's okay. You have to honor it.
Yeah.
No matter where it is.
It shouldn't be, soft life shouldn't be performative. You know what I mean? I do get angry. I do get upset. Yes. I do get sad. And so I think within honoring all the phases that come with being a woman it's okay.
Yes, and that's soft life, but making it real, acknowledging that it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. But you, like you said, honor every phase, and how do you show up for yourself in those different phases?
Yeah.
Yeah. So. The soft life, it is what you make it. What are some herbs that you lean on to during your cultivation of soft life?
So I'll mention ways that I use herbs first, and then I'll talk about the herbs. And so Steaming.
Yeah.
Honoring softness within me throughout my cycle, like my moon cycle. Steaming. I love doing baths.
Yes,
And so I honor
a
herbal bath within that way. Teas. I love my tinctures. And so depending on where I am that day or even in that moment, because I think the beauty even about being a human, that things can change within a moment. I love using herbs that are like considered adaptogens. So of course we know, well, if you don't, adaptogen is the herbal action. And what an adaptogen does, it simply help you to find harmony and to bring balance back into the body. And so I really love ashwagandha. Holy basil or tulsi is one of my favorites.
Yes.
And so I'm a holy basil girl. I take holy basil every day. I also really love California poppy. What I love about California poppy, and I use that in a tincture daily to help me to stabilize myself mentally. It's something that I use at the top of the day, and that is because it is really great for mental health. And mental health is something that is very important within softening and learning to like just really step back a bit. And so really using adaptogens, those are always my go-tos. And I can have them in a tea or I can have them in a tincture. And I like to really have them on me in a tincture because I can use it on the go, right? And so those are some of the herbs that I really, really love. And then I like to get into my nervines, which nervines are going to be herbs that really help love on the nervous system. And so those are kind of the ones that I sit with.
Yeah.
And then I do aromatherapy. I'm always burning something or always have something, just shifting the atmosphere. So those are really some of my favorites for helping me to stay balanced.
And that's why we friends, because those are a lot of my favorites too. Like, those are exactly all of my same ones. Holy basil is my girl. Like, holy basil is right there, and lemon balm as well. Lemon balm is another good one. Me and lemon balm be rocking. So I appreciate both of those herbs. Aromatherapy, I'm in an aromatherapy course, so I'm just like exploring aromatherapy more and more. But definitely the diffuser, the inhalers, girl. Inhaling, just going straight to the brain and to the limbic system.
Inhalers is a whole vibe.
Inhalers are a whole vibe. One of my favorite ones that I did, and this is just talking about stress, like in those moments where you feel super stressed. I remember one time just feeling stressed, and it was just like things that was going on. My child just kept talking, we traveling and all that type of stuff, and I literally felt like this like tight closing in type of like pressure in on me. And we were out of town, and I didn't have anything on me, so I went to Whole Foods and got a valerian tincture. And I took a couple of drops of that, and it was just like I literally felt like the physical stress like literally like just clear out of my body. And I was like, tinctures
Valerian
are just
is a good one.
Valerian is a good one, and tinctures are just so important and vital in the way that they work on you too, because I like to put mine up underneath my tongue, just going directly to the bloodstream. Yep, it acts fast. Inhaling and aromatherapy acts fast. Tea, and I know it seems like simple, like making a tea is a simple act. Tinctures take a little bit longer, but making a tea, brewing the herbs in the tea is medicinal. Like, it's really a good practice. The routine, for one, it's a ritual of like making the tea, whatever tea blend, whatever tea blend it is that you choose to put in there, letting the water boil, allowing the tea to cool down so that you're able to sip it, and then actually like experiencing the tea, sipping on it, and then how the herb makes you feel afterwards. It's a whole vibe.
It's a whole vibe. And that's what I love most about the plants. It is you get that first taste of the sweetness of, like, for example, the chamomile, and then you get that after effects, right? Or that aftertaste. And then you get into that third level of taste, and it's how it makes you feel. And that's the beauty of the plants, is just how they show up for you in that way, and the uniqueness of it all. And so it's beautiful work. That's why I love working with the plants. It's making a cup of tea is such a full circle moment. Yes. Just using all of the elements and all the things within that way. So
Another thing that came up for me when you were talking was nature. Just the lessons that we're able to learn from nature, and just trees. In the back of my house, like, I have a little porch that we've been able to sit on, and I just can see the trees in their different phases and their different seasons, and just how they like sway in the wind, but they're still like strong and have that foundation in the ground. But then they sway in the wind, you know? So it's like really being like flexible and kind of like going with the flow, but also still having like a strong foundation. Yeah. And I think that enables you to be able to have a soft life too, because you know how to return to your roots. Mm-hmm. You know how to return to your roots, get what you need, and then, you know, you can go with the flow. Go with the flow. It's a mix of both.
That brought up a proverb for me, and it is when your roots are deep, you don't fear the wind. And it's a whole proverb. And that is real. It is real. And I think like even taking it back to the analogy of the trees, embracing every season, they're also intentional. Even though that they are in flow, they are intentionally flowing. Yes. Right? Their leaves are intentionally falling. Right? So it's important for us to embrace every season. At the top of spring, you get the new buds, right? Yes. That can go to, you know, then think about the sowing of the seed for the tree. So a tree starts as a seed and grows into something so amazing. And then from there, it still learns to pivot in life. It still learns to shed its leaves. Like it is so many teachable moments to just be in nature and being connected within that way. And so...
And that's how you can learn to cultivate your softness, by paying attention to nature, like seeing nature in its different forms and getting lessons like that and being like, I can apply this in my own life. And spending time in nature is just one of those ways to help cultivate softness as well, whether that be just sitting in stillness, just looking at the trees.
Nature is never loud.
Never loud.
And whoever hears a tree fall.
I ain't never heard it.
Yeah.
And trees be falling around my house. I be
all
looking,
the time.
I be like, when did that fall?
All the time. All the time. And even to me, it's just a reminder of like in being within softness of like, it's okay to keep things to yourself.
Yes.
It's also okay to share, because when you get into thinking about the ways that trees even communicate, all of that is underground. So like nature is one of the greatest teachers. Yeah. And it's just so much to learn, like.
Yeah. And it really is. It's just it's a never ending journey. It's a never ending path of just creating softness and what that looks like for you, and also just being aware that it's not going to probably always look the same for you. We work in phases, so like what might have looked good for you last year might be different. But another thing to honor is the seasons, the seasonal change. Even I love like how Facebook and Instagram stories do those like memories of showing you like what you were doing years ago, because last year it was crazy because I was like, I feel like drinking some golden milk and stuff, like I miss my golden milk. And I seen my stories from last year, and around the same exact time I was drinking golden milk, and I was like, it's just so wild how like your body and your mind and thoughts is just like, it's time to do that. Yes, it's time to do. Right now we're in fall. I know our episodes might release when they are, but right now we're in fall, and this is my favorite season. Fall definitely reminds you of softness, because we're getting ready to go into that winter time where you're really going to be like hibernating and really like resting more so. But fall is like that harvest. They call it the harvest season. This is when you reap all of what you've sown over the summer and what you started in the spring. So that's how like going along with the seasons is how you can cultivate softness, because like in that fall time you're getting all that harvest and you're getting ready to store that up for winter. So you're doing all of the soups and the stews, and you're getting your inside of your house smelling good and cleaning up in a different way, and storing up, getting your clothes together, starting to watch movies at home, and just doing more things in the house, like I think it's in your space.
This is a time of year where we're more intentional than anything. It's not a lot of going. We get to rest, we get to be present, and I think that goes back to the idea of understanding nature, and how like even in a space where things are dormant, they're still in preparation mode for the next season. So the earth just does not die in the winter. It's in preservation mode for the spring, and so I think that like you said, it just goes back to like really being intentional in how we live and how we move. And I oftentimes too that find that in this season people struggle the most, but this is also not the season where we should be overeating or consuming a lot of junk or letting our feelings and emotions get the best of us, because what typically happens is that we're not getting as much sunlight as melanated people. This is a time for us to eat lighter. It's a time for us to go slower and to just be more intentional with how we move. And oftentimes these are the times when it's getting cold where people start dealing with the mental imbalances. And so using the herbs that we talk about, the herbs that we have mentioned in this episode is also really great to use throughout this season. And so
to support your mental health,
support mental health,
That's
this
something.
is the time that people start to grieve.
That's true.
It's the time we're getting together as family.
Yes.
You're not seeing people a lot more. More people are in. You're not getting that sunlight. People are going to that space of like grieving. This time where people are more likely to be depressed. And so this is not the time to go into that. This is the time to preserve yourself.
Preserve your energy, preserve your peace, preserve your space, and strengthen your mind too. We talked about this prior to, but just strengthening up your mind and just making sure that you're in a good headspace. When we talk about like you're actually going to be spending time in your home, you'll probably be spending more time with yourself, and that's probably why some people might find themselves more in grief, because it's hard for a lot of people sometimes to spend time by themselves.
And love their own company, but you got to get into that. Like for me, even when I am home, I'm typically in my headphones. I'm listening to audiobooks. Audiobooks help me, especially those ones that are motivational or intentional within that way. Like The Power of Thinking Big is something that I'm listening to right now. I'm listening to it every single day.
Personal development.
Personal development books.
Yes.
These are the things that help you. This is not the time to indulge in things that feed your negativity. I guess I'll say that. This is not the time to scroll on social media and find people that's also depressed or also talking about a negative situation that may be going on in their house.
And trauma
This is your time that you are to get out of that within this season of life. And that goes back to being real within your softness of like, we don't have to sit and fester in that. And I think oftentimes as women, it's easy to get together and focus on negativity, but when you start being around women where you can talk about all the highlights in life, I look forward to that kind of company. So when you realize that within living that soft life and things being real, cultivate it in all of the ways, even the company you keep, the mindset and what you are feeding yourself.
That's a word right there. And the company that you keep, first and foremost, I think it's also your space. Your space is important, because I know a lot of us,
It's
like
not
I said,
the time to get cluttered.
It's not the time to get cluttered. It's the time to be, like, I think everything really comes down to intention. Like, what kind of intention do you want to set for yourself? Like, do you want to cultivate peace? And even a lot of us, like, we have to be careful of, like, attracting toxicity in our lives and, like, actually, like, keeping it around. Like, let that go. And then really go in and do the work that needs to be done, especially during, like, this fall and winter season. Like, let's go in and do the work and clear our space, and then come out springtime, out on and popping. Growth is on point. But, again, we can all create our own softness. And I do also want to say that I know that this is a space where we always say, sis, welcome to the healing table, but softness is not exclusive to women. Right. It's not at all. Men can cultivate
should have peaceful lives.
Yes, they need to
enjoy that softness, and we as women, I think, should also provide that. I think that sometimes that being toxic is the thing. Since that's not it. Not at all. It's not it. I think that it's important for us to also cultivate that space, not only for our partners, but for our family and friends. And sometimes it takes for you to be in your softness. Like, it really took me to have a conversation and talk to Terran about softness for it to spark some things within me. So I think that softness is something that we embody, and like as Black women, you're able to see it on me, I'm able to see it on you, and I'm like, dang, I want a little bit of what sis got going on, and realizing what it is. And so I think that's also the beauty of that softness. And like one thing that you mentioned about doing the work, healing leads you to softness. Sure, I had to heal to get here. And I think that's something that we haven't touched on yet, but like before we start filming, Terran and I talked about how we used to be in that masculine energy or in that survival mode and all of the things. So softness is something that we have learned to cultivate through our healing and our growth as women. And I think that's important for us to mention, of like, we didn't fall here. No. This is something that we had to cultivate, heal through, cry through, all of the things to get to this point. And that's the beauty of softness. Yes. Is really realizing that it's on the, I personally found softness on the other side of my brokenness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nope, that's exactly the word that I received too. When you was talking about you found it, and you got to go through that hardness. It reminded me of the concept of when they talk about in yoga, suffering. How we all encounter some sort of suffering in our lives, some sort of trauma, some sort of drama in our lives, and you have to actually go through it to get to the other side. So you do have to encounter that hardness, but just know that like you're cultivating that softness on the other side of that. You're breaking through that concrete, and you are finding the soil up underneath so that you can grow and cultivate the soil. Even thinking about farming, just how you work on your soil first. You work on the inner parts of you first so that you're able to bloom
gotta break
in
it
those
up.
various ways.
You gotta feed it, add some amendments to it. Okay, you're gonna have to tend to it in all of the ways. You know, may have some pests sometimes. All of those things, you gotta get rid of it.
Yep.
And so it is work that you have to do to get to softness. And I think even within that work, like one thing that I love to hear you talk about is how the things that you're showing Eden, and I feel like now Eden will be ahead, and she don't necessarily have to peel back the layers and go through the things and find softness later on in life like we did. It's something that she can learn to embody earlier. So through the embodiment of it, I think that we're breaking generational curses, and we're showing our children something different. And so
and it's not easy. It's not always easy. It takes, like we say, you got to do the work on yourself. But when you mention me in general, it just made me think about my life and just like what I might have seen from my mom. Like, I didn't necessarily see softness from my mom. I didn't see her having to. She didn't raise me as such, and I didn't see that from her. My mother is from New Jersey. My mother is the things that she's dealt with in her life might have just made her just like toughen up. She's always just been like a tough cookie.
My mom is like that. Yeah,
your mom's like that too. Okay, so she's always been a tough cookie, and then just in turn, like I'm her first daughter. Like she pretty much put that on me, and then I just understood. Like I had to tell my mom one day, like I just felt like I had grew up with like this tough love, and I was having like this problem with just like opening up and being soft. Like even in my marriage in the beginning, it was like really hard for me to just like open up and kind of like break down this wall of like this tough exterior, and I really had to break that down to like really experience my soft life in its fullness, like to understand like it's okay. It's okay to be soft. And I think as Black women, it could be a little tough for us, and that's why I mentioned Black women need it most, because we take on so much. Like we carry so many burdens. We carry so many things. Go into that
protective mode.
Yes.
Yeah, and softness is not necessary. It's being vulnerable, but it's not a weakness.
It's not weakness.
And I think that's something that I hear you saying.
It's surrender.
Yeah.
It's surrender. It's surrender to those things that you can't control, but then also surrender to peace. A surrender to saying, like, I don't always have to live in fear, and I don't always have to live in survival mode, that I can actually experience peace, and I can experience bliss, and I can create that for myself.
Yeah, and I'm deserving of that. That's the biggest thing. I am deserving of
I am
that.
deserving it.
And I wish I would have got here sooner.
Yes.
That's one thing I think about, like, it's not a regret, but I'm like, dang, I wonder if I tapped into this energy a little earlier. You know, I had that thought recently of like, man, but like now, like I'm in it.
Yeah.
And everything around me supports it.
Yes.
In every level of my life, it supports it, because I realized that I did not want to be in survival in any of the things. And so I'm grateful for what I get to do and who I am becoming. And I'm just grateful for the shift in mindset and for life aligning for me. And it's y'all, this is literally, this has been in a few weeks, and me and Terran had this conversation, and I made a conscious decision, and then everything began to align to me. And so oftentimes within softness, I find that you have to make those conscious decisions. Don't be in limbo about anything within your life.
Yeah, that
make a conscious. This is what I want, and it needs to align. And if it don't, it's not for me. And so I'm not going to anything that's going to take me away from this, because I have become my own safe space within softness.
Yes.
And so
as we should be.
Yeah.
And I know you said that you wish that you would have got to it sooner. What came to me was that everything happens in its due season. And I feel like
exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Exactly where you're supposed to be. And you encounter what you encountered for whatever period and season of time, so that you can know how to approach the goodness, the softness, that what you need,
and
because you've been and appreciate it, be grateful for it. Always give thanks for like the struggles. A lot of us don't necessarily want to go through struggles, but I think that in our lives we all deal with some sort of suffering, trauma, some sort of negative thing. So it's like we need to go through that so that we know what it looks like when we not gonna tolerate no BS.
And the thing of it is we have to go through it.
Yes,
it does not define us.
Yes, at all.
And once we get to that point of like, oh no, I went through that, I dealt with that in the past, or whatever it is, that no longer serves me, and I walk in it, and I walk in that truly. So yeah,
softness is defining boundaries. Like you said, you're your own safe space. I'm not going for this. This is what I accept in my life. This is what I
expect. This is what I accept. I find things that I will and won't do it, and I've the most interesting thing, y'all, is in softness, I find myself reconsidering. That was something that we talked about earlier. In the space of reconsidering marriage, reconsidering having children, and I think that's coming in the space of me. I'm even healing in this softness right now, and so. Yeah, that's been another thing that has come to my mind, because I realized that I associated motherhood with survival, because that's what I saw being raised by a single mom, and I knew I didn't want that for me. And so as I get into softness, the only way that I'm willing to explore motherhood is through that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's understandable. So overall, I just feel like in softness, like soft makes you think of like soft and cuddly, but there's so much power in softness. There's so much power in calmness. There's so much power in direction, knowing where you want to go. There's power in your boundaries, making your no mean your no, and your yes be your yes.
And when you
there
in
is
softness,
power in creation.
It is also power in just walking into a space.
Yes.
People can see that. Yes. People can feel that.
You
will shift the energy. Being in softness, when I tell you, life begins to, I feel like, fall in your hands in such a gracious way. Like you said, there's so much power in softness.
Indeed it is. Okay. So cheers again. One more cheers to the soft life, baby.
To the soft life.
Us defining how we wanted to look for
like
ourselves.
You. And we encourage you all to identify and let us know. Like, comment below and let us know what are some things that you feel like you can change to help you to embrace softness in your life. I would love to see and get some feedback on that.
Me too.
And for us to be able to support each other within the comments, and I think within cultivating community, right? Like, it is important for us to all have that softness. So let us know some of the ways that you feel like you can change, or some things that you can add to your life to help you embrace softness.
Yes, please do. That's you guys' homework there.
That's
so
your homework.
Head to the comment section and do that. And I think that is our conversation on softness. I feel like we covered it all. I feel so like, even just after having the conversation, I just feel soft. I don't know if it's the chamomile or the tea,
but I
just feel so chill.
Yeah.
I feel super chill. Y'all know where y'all can check us out on Instagram at Our Healing Table.
Yes.
At Our Healing Table. And then also on our YouTube channel and what's Instagram, YouTube,
TikTok, everything. Our Healing Table.
Yes. If y'all are seeing this episode now, we are posting.
Yeah, we are already posting.
We are taking a while on the content, but we are getting there.
But it is intentional.
It is. Okay, so what's our affirmation today?
We end, if you, this is your first time being here, you know we end every episode with an affirmation. So today's affirmation is softness is not weakness. I choose ease and trust my body to lead. All right, so
softness is not weakness. That's what I was saying. I was like, there's power in softness. It's not weakness.
It is. It is a superpower, and I heard that before. I had a brother tell me that before. Getting into that softness and embodying your feminine energy is a superpower, and it is.
Yes,
it really is.
Look, hold on, we done with the podcast. Wait, when you said embodying your feminine energy is a superpower, indeed it is. And again, it looks different for everyone, but to me, feminine energy is definitely romantic. It is soft. It is just leaning into that. Like, we cannot deny that we are women. We need the feminine energy. Like, it should overtake us more than anything. Like, that's how we operate in our power.
Agreed.
So I ain't gonna say too much. That was it. But thank y'all for joining us for another episode. This is episode 3 in the books. Again, we are your hosts, Terran and
I am Shamika. And don't forget to do something soft this week.
Please do something soft for yourself and cultivate your softness. Until next time, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Peace.